And also, if someone wants to practice the Dharma, and then you are training, first time you train your mind with these 4 reminders. And these 4 reminders, it's a kind of bring us into the entrance door of the Dharma. In the middle, if we practice or the training our mind with these 4 reminders, and we are seriously to practice Dharma. And also finally, if we more concerned with these 4 reminders and training our mind 4 reminders, and also it's like to make the really successful things. And when we practice the Dharma diligently and hardshiply, or this go a little bit undergo the hardship to really to put the effort, maybe the consequence is the marvelous kind of the happiness. For example, sometimes when the humans want to do something, very funny things, and it is like even you lose your life, and they want to do. For example, I watched in Nepal, in the Chomolung, and these snow mountains, someone want to climb to go to the top of these mountains. And some there are reach in the middle of the snow mountains, cold and strong wind, snows falling down, difficult to climb. And some is like a kind of the weathercast says, so weather's going to worse. Do not climb more, going to die. Still they want. And of course it's like kind of the achievement, but finally they died, many people. Even they lost their life, they're doing this kind of things. I don't know, it's only to thinking about if I'm to arrive in the top of the mountain, maybe I will become very famous. Okay, you become the famous, what you got to the inside, something is like for benefit, you're impermanent. And something is like make famous, it's making more problems. And like this kind of something, such things, how much we are like something we want to do. Maybe, I don't know, meaningful or not, but even we lose our leg, limbs, cold, and become the like very dangerous things we are doing. And maybe if you study Dharma to put the diligently, go to the practice, you will become the like compassionate or enlightened beings. How much it is the benefit for other sentient beings. And it is like magnificent, it's extraordinary. And in this perspective, why not to do it? And also it's like mind hasn't got enthusiastic. The mind don't want to study a little bit, then more to study relative things about the impermanent and this, wherever you are live, how many is demonstrated to us about the impermanent. Also people who not long ago were prosperous and secure, now suddenly find themselves heading for ruins. Others once poor and helpless, now speak with about and are the powerful and wealthy. Nothing stay the same forever. So this is in the relative realities. It is the truth. It is the absolutely the truth. And the first time is like someone is very much there, like kind of the prosperous, like a wealthy, famous, and very much intelligent, and also handsome, beautiful, and also they have such secures. Then it's like some certainly become old, sick, lost family, and it's everything is become that. And then it's like they finally they are ruined out, ruined really out. It is like kind of the absolutely truth. And sometimes we are like doing such and such things. Then finally it's like ruin, and also it's like we look back to it's very sad and very funny things. But currently, in the present moment, it's difficult to realize that this kind of the impermanent or the ruined things. And otherwise, is one so poor and helpless. Sometimes we look at some people's very much poor, very much kind of stupid, helpless. But some certainly they changed. Maybe it is like become the wonderful, become the extreme. It's like a changing process, become the head of these areas. And like this, therefore, it is certainly, maybe it's like to change them. Now speak like this authority, become the leader. And we say it's like this morning evil, but in the evening, it is absolutely holy beings. In the morning, looks like holy, but they changed in the evening, become the evil. If this is like kind of the changing process, but it's everything is changing in the relatively very funny. Body is changing, verb is changing, environment is changing, everything's. And if we can to choose to live like this, the changing process is, we don't know really. They are changing, absolutely. If we are sleeping, they are changing. We are like kind of the sitting, they are changing. If we are working, we are changing. Whatever we do, there is movement is occurring. But then it's like maybe it's like a positive, like continue positive, maybe it's wonderful. But sometimes it's negative influence movement is more influence, negative. Negative continue to like then negative directions more and more negative. But then it's like to drop to live. It's how natural to change. Maybe we are saying nature is according to the negative emotion tendencies changing maybe wrong directions. And in that moment, mind should become the good driver, to turn right way. Like same as the car. When we are like a car driver, car itself to put in the road, maybe it doesn't go like too direct, to turn right or wrong, sometimes go over the road. But your drivers to correct and like this, to very safely and mindful, it's possible. Like this, now it's mind is driver, and this changing process. To changing but to more drive it to the positive directions. And in this perspective, and it doesn't matter, before it looks like stupid, a little bit poor, but it can to change. Change, and it's become this fantastic and wonderful. There is one person, it's one guy, he want to study Dharma very much, but then he met one teacher, he study. Teachers give explanations, impossible, he can't remember nothing. And every day try. Then finally he says, maybe I want to kill myself. And I'm very much stupid, I can't study. Then this teacher says, no, not necessary. Go to retreat, make the prostrations. And he prostrated to like maybe 4,500,000 he'd done. And then this teacher said, now you can come back, let's to try it. And then he started, suddenly his mind a little bit kind of become more sharp, and he started things more stale in the mind. And then he was very happy, and this finally he became a very, very famous master because it's according to his enthusiastic, and he became the enlightened being, and he has many students, and he became the very famous. And like this, to you change ourselves, Doesn't matter you are first stupid, but finally it's become very intelligent. First, maybe you are very poor, but you develop something, it's positive things, slowly become the very, very rich. It's like enormous, extreme like this. Therefore, everything is like, there's nothing kind of forever. Same places, never ever. It's absolutely truth. This is like kind of nothing stayed the same forever. Our body, verb, place, parents, family, country, and is our house, car, everything is there's never same forever. That is we need to think. In this perspective, my body, my verb is not forever. It's going to change. And going to change, I want to change into the positive. Maybe also we are thinking about the good practitioners, and we don't need to constantly the big changing process, just before like after the death. Maybe it's like each moment, each step by step to change. And first, this second I'm like this, but the next second I want to make to better myself. This hours is okay, but next hours coming, maybe it's good. Today I'm like this, tomorrow I want to become the better than the today. This month, how much I developed, not much, but next month I want to become more. And like this, to the positive to development, that is our own individual responsibility. There's a changing process, but mind can drive to good way. This is truth. This is absolutely reality. We can to look in our societies, human societies. If someone's very gentle, someone's very kind, someone's very famous, everybody's talking about. And someone is all the time aggressive, very much difficult to like this. Then we can to compare this. Physically body, the physical body built by the 5 aggregates, rely on the element. Everything is the same. Human is like kind of the DNAs. And but the inner mind is way of the thinking, how you can to change a person, then it's completely different. Someone is like really we talking about holy superiors because it's their mind. It is nothing kind of material things there is like different. Only the mind. Someone is very rich but not that famous, unkind, very ugly kind of things. And also it's like we have such negative histories. Sometimes it's like there is such poor, but it's talking about kindness and such a kind of the good there is. Everybody pray, everybody say good thing. Why? Because of the way of the thinking, way of the changing process, how we can to follow up the positive things. That is the really very necessary to think about impermanent changing process. Also sometimes when we realize the impermanent, it is wonderful. For example, when we are once very happy, okay, I would say, and we have everything, the food, clothes, condition, healthy, and everything. And that moment is like our mind is really flying in the sky and very much arrogant, proud, and then it's think, this is forever me. This is like same as forever for me. Then it's like to hurting this one, it's beating this one, it's like showing very, because I'm not depends on you. And it's like whatever I want, I can do it. And it's like healthy. And if someone says suggestions, I know, I like this. That moment is like really, it's like a feeling is I'm in the top of it. Difficult to look at the ground. And then certainly something a little bit collapsed and something in situations changed and then going into the earth, on the ground. And then cry, yes, I'm problem like this and very much suffering. It looks like, oh, maybe this is forever. What can I do? What can I do like this kind of? Thinking is maybe this is unchangeable and it's forever for me. And then we make suffering more ourselves. If we understood the impermanent, and also when sometimes we have very good situation, and healthy and rich, but you think this is not forever for me. It is impermanent. I need to more care. I need to more to do some benefit. Never become the arrogant, never become the proud. And also sometimes the situation changed. Maybe go really lost the job, and also no family, maybe sick and something problems, and maybe worse in this world, but never cry. Also, this is not forever me. Maybe also this won't change. Today like this, tomorrow I don't know. Maybe 100% they're not like forever for me like this. Then it's a practitioner, not much suffering, not much complaint, not much crying. And also it is a truth that is also changeable. And therefore to think, to have the knowledge, understanding nature of the impermanent, sometimes such and such benefit. And also we are like kind of take examples, our like the own families. Each successive generations of the parents, grandparents, and great-grandparents have all died one by one. They are only the names to you knows it. It is the truth. We can to look my father's fathers, mother's mothers, most of ours, probably grandfathers almost disappeared. Maybe grandfathers, mothers absolutely only left a picture and the names, they are already gone. Like untalkable, like kind of unimaginable, like kind of this is gone. This is like also is like kind of impermanent. And this gives us mind education of the impermanent. But so sometimes it also says, no, it's like stay, I'm concerning myself is the permanent. Then it's need to something, there's something wrong with it. And as the time came, many brothers, sisters, and others relatives have died too. And no one knows where they went and where they are now. No one knows. It's absolutely truth. For example, if we lost some our parents and families, and like a kind of the happened forever separation, afterwards no one knows where they are, what they did, which kind of destinations, and we are look at the thinking about them. Where is like where have they gone, and they are now where? It's completely like kind of lost. It's like this, just left a name and some histories. And in this perspective, ourself is also impermanent, and we need to realize the impermanent. And this perspective is like one is impermanent arrived. I need education. I need to serious to practice Dharma. Before that happened, I want to become enlightenment. It is the very important of the powerful, rich, and prosperous people who only light year were the most immanent in the land. Many this year are the already just names. And also it's like this is a truth. Before there is such a reach, and also it's like some is about the immanent, like kind of the head of some like the persons, and also it's like absolutely is there is such and such powerful, sympathetic, compassionate beings, but also they are already is like kind of gone, and there's just names. Is it in the Dzogchen monastery? Probably most people met the one. There's a Rinpoche called the Chokyi Rinpoche, and I was there. It's like he passed away, and all the village people is crying. And now what can we do? But it's like these situations. But afterwards, there's only the Rinpoche's name left. But everybody is like, they still is not thinking about impermanent, and just they go home as the mind is like same as the before, concerning food, lot of jealous each other, aggressive, and never thinking about the compassions, and it's like a kind of Dharma. But it's like difficult to understand the nature of the impermanent. And maybe we can to meditate on 5 minutes in the impermanent, to look at the front of your ground, your body, and your verb, your mind. They are the permanent or not permanent. Maybe we can to meditate 5-10 minutes. Okay, la?